Does the darkness of roast coffee affect the strength of coffee? Coffee is one of the most popular drinks in the world, and there are endless variations to choose from. One important factor in determining the taste of coffee is the roast. The darkness of the roast coffee can range from light to dark, and each type of roast has its own unique flavor profile. But what many people don't know is that the darkness of the roast also has an effect on the strength of the coffee. In this blog post, we'll take a closer look at how the darkness of roast coffee affects the caffeine content in coffee. We'll also explore how different brewing methods can impact the final cup of coffee. So whether you like your coffee weak or strong, read on to find out more about how roast darkness can affect your brew. What is roast? When coffee is roasted, the beans are exposed to high temperatures that cause them to change in color, smell, and taste. The longer the beans are roasted, the darker they become. Some people believe that dark roast coffee is stronger and has more caffeine than light roast coffee. However, this is not always the case. The darkness of the roast does not necessarily affect the strength or caffeine content of the coffee. Does darkness affect the strength of coffee? It's a common misconception that the darkness of roast coffee affects the strength of coffee. However, this is not the case. The strength of coffee is determined by the amount of coffee beans used, not the darkness of roast coffee. The difference between light, medium, and dark roast when it comes to coffee, roast darkness is one factor that can affect the strength of your brew. Here's a quick guide to the differences between light, medium, and dark roast. Light roast. Light roasts are typically lighter in body and acidity than their darker counterparts. They also tend to have a more delicate flavor with notes of sweetness and floral aromatics. Medium roast. Medium roasts strike a balance between light and dark, offering both rich flavors and a more robust body. These coffees are often well-rounded with a moderate level of acidity. Dark roast. Dark roasts are typically fuller-bodied with less acidity than their lighter counterparts. They also tend to have deep, rich flavors with roasted or smoky notes. How to choose the right roast for you? When it comes to choosing the right roast for your coffee, there are a few things you need to take into account. The first is what kind of flavor you're looking for. If you want a bolder, more robust flavor, then you'll want to go with a darker roast. If you prefer a lighter, more delicate flavor, then you'll want to choose a lighter roast. The second thing to consider is the strength of the coffee. Darker roasts tend to be more potent, so if you're looking for a stronger cup of coffee, that's what you should go for. Conversely, if you prefer a weaker cup of coffee, then you'll want to choose a lighter roast. Finally, take into account how long you want the coffee to last. Darker roasts tend to have a shorter shelf life than lighter roasts, so if you're planning on drinking your coffee within a week or two, then a dark roast is probably the way to go. However, if you want your coffee to last longer, then choosing a light roast is probably the better option. Conclusion: does the darkness of roast coffee affect the strength? There is a lot of debate surrounding the topic of how darkness of roast coffee affects coffee strength. Some people believe that darker roasts are stronger, while others think that it's the opposite. The truth is, there is no definitive answer. It all depends on your personal preferences. So, if you're wondering whether or not you should switch to dark roast coffee, the best thing to do is experiment and see what you like best. Thank you for watching. CoffeeEternal.com